I want to reinforce a point I've said many, many times, and that is the words of the Chavetz Chaim on the pasuk Makam Ateshanim Sasham Kadashu Moshe Rabbeinu, when he found himself by the sneh, by the burning bush. Hashem told him, "The place where you are is holy ground. Take off your shoes." And the Chavetz Chaim says that this is a message to every single Jew. Wherever you are, that's holy ground. Hashem has put you in a place which it might be burning. It might seem like your life is burning up, but there's an important message here in the bush. It's burning, but it's not being consumed. A person's life can be beraged with fire, with difficulty, with tragedy, seeming tragedy, with difficulty, with pain, with anguish, but you don't have to burn up. You keep going. And this is the message the Chavetz Chaim says. The place you are is holy ground. Hashem has put you there, and you have to know that this is exactly where you're meant to be at any given second. And the past few days have been encountered such difficult stories from people going through so much pain and suffering. And it hurts, it's painful to hear these stories. But my words of Nechama that I have to offer is just that. You're on holy ground. Hashem loves you. He has infinite love for you. And everything he does is infinite kindness. And no matter how crazy it seems, we know the rule the Zohar says, Lafi rova choshech rova or. The more darkness there is, the more light is buried underneath. And the Chavetz Chaim is coming to teach us something else. Right? There's times of darkness and there's times of burning. Right? There's times of din and there's times of chesed. Right? And fire is din. And the din seems to be all encompassing. It seems to be raging fire, and things just seem to be completely out of control. And at that moment, Hashem tells us, no, this is holy ground. It's not a fire of tragedy, of burning. It's a fire of light and glory. And Hashem's glory is there, and Hashem's presence is there. And when you look for it and find it, it's so soothing. It's so calming. Because at that very moment, you're with Hashem by yourself in a very intimate personal relationship. Because you understand that everything Hashem does for you is real kindness, right? No matter how it seems in the outside world. We live in a world which the Zohar calls Alma de Shikra. It's the world of falsehood, because things appear in one way, but in reality, they're completely and totally different. And we have to train our eyes. We need new glasses. We need to see the world through the light of Torah and through the light of the Chachamim, what they've taught us how to see the world. And it's not easy. I spoke to many people yesterday who are going through many difficult nisyonos in marriage, in shalom bayis, in health, right? In parnasa. People have lost so much money. People who don't have enough money to buy food, right? As I always say, I have a fund that people come to me. They have food for Shabbos. How did it start? A guy came to one Shabbos and said, "We don't have money for food. We eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on Shabbos." So I opened my wallet. I said, "How much do you need? I have a fund for Shabbos." And Baruch Hashem, that developed. But it's so painful. People have no food for Shabbos. People have no electricity, right? People have no telephone. People are suffering. And there are people in that situation who are not sad. They just realize that this is Hashem has given them this lot. The people's kids who are off the derech. People have kids who have serious mental, physical, emotional, psychological conditions, and they have to deal with it, right? There are people who just have not recovered yet from Corona, right? They went through a hard bout with Corona, and they haven't recovered yet, and their life is still not back to normal. We have to thank Hashem every single day for all gifts, but most importantly, we have to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu, see Hashem in every corner of our life, wherever He is. As Rav Shimon Galoi told me, right? I asked him, "How do you do it? How do you deal with it?" I've given so many shirim on this topic. Thank Hashem when things look bad, but how do you emotionally come to terms with it? And he said, everything is infinite chesed, without exception. Nothing happens. The worse, remember, the worse it looks, Lafi rova choshech is or, right? Buried under that incredibly dark darkness, or that burning fire, yeah, is the light of Hashem. We just have to find it. We have to connect to it, and we have to live it, and we have to understand it, and we have to really accept it. The first step is acceptance and complete acceptance. And Hashem, I totally accept everything. I totally accept all the sionos, and I do it with love. And this is what the Ram writes. That's why Avinu was called Avram Oyavi. Hashem tells him, "Kach lucha es bindcha es yichidcha asher hafta, v'lech lecha eretz Moria, Sashar Sheira." Right? Take your son and sacrifice him, and I'm going to ask you to sacrifice your son. And Avram says, "So where do I go?" He didn't ask any questions, and this is the way we have to be. Ultimately, to strive for that level of a complete amunah in Hashem, not even an iota of suffix. Now, we know, whoever has eyes in their head, that the Gula is coming. It's around the door. Kol dodi dofek. Hashem is knocking on the door. He wants to bring it. And the Chafetz Yaivitz writes, who are those who survived the Spanish Inquisition in 1492? Who are the ones who survived? He said, not the big philosophers. The people with amunah pshuta. The people who accepted Hashem runs the world, and I accept whatever He does. These are the people who survived and survived strong and became stronger as a result. As my cousins-in-laws told him, he said, they were both in Auschwitz. People asked him, how can you have gone through Auschwitz and still believe in God? And Mrs. Hexter said back, how could you have gone through Auschwitz and not believe in God? Yeah, these people came stronger through the difficulties. And all the difficulties Hashem sends us to make us stronger. Right? I remember when I was training for the Olympics, and I would rip my body to pieces, take it to like the nth degree to push myself to limits. And when you do that, it rips the muscles, and then they go stronger. And this is what Hashem is doing to us. He's training us to be stronger. He's preparing us for the Gula. All the difficulties that are going on now are a targil, a talich. They're training. They're what they call imunim. They're imunim for the Gula. So we have to hold on tight and be strong. And the stronger we hold on, the more Hashem will hold on to us. Hashem should give us the greatest siyata d'shemaya during these difficult days to be strong, to be happy, and to live with Hashem. Look for Him in every corner of your life, no matter where you go, no matter what happens to you. Just keep saying, Kol ma'adavid Rahman l'tovavid. Everything Hashem does is good, and you'll see it. You'll have a sweet life and a happy life, and a life filled with joy. Amen. Kein Ratzon.